Welcome, Nahan. Please start.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Uh, I would like to thank Mavin for having invited me and Rajvin for today's talk. I hope what I and Rajvin going to share today would be interesting, especially when people are talking about legacy. Okay. So today's topic will be legacy, leaving behind a legacy and after yoga. Okay. So, in fact, my name is Nahan and I'm from Malaysia. Both myself and Rajvin are from Malaysia. In fact, we are doing this every alternate weeks with Mavin. Yeah. So, let's start the session since the time given is only about 1 hour in total. So, what I'm going to do today, as I said, I'll be talking on leaving behind a legacy and laughter yoga. This is what I'm sharing today is basically regarding one of my books. Yeah. As I'm an ebook writer and I've written 15 ebooks. And this is one of my book, which is called Leaving Behind a Legacy. Yeah. As you can see the book at the backdrop. Okay. This is the book cover. Uh, it's just a small, a short book. Yeah. I think about 60 over pages. So I'll be sharing with you on legacy. Basically, when you talk about legacy, yeah, okay, what do we think or how do we assume what is a legacy? Okay, basically, to leave behind a legacy is more than just passing over, okay, our deeds, yeah, our knowledge, our expertise to the next generation. That is what legacy is all about. Leaving behind something after we are gone. Okay. If we do not have a legacy, people will forget about us. What more? Our own children over years, after 30 years, 40 years, they know, yes, Nahan is my father. So what? There's nothing great to talk about him. Yeah. So do our grandchildren or our friends. Whatever good we have done, if if we do not leave behind a legacy, somehow or other it will be just forgotten. It will just be forgotten. Yeah, because life has to go on. So we cannot expect us to leave behind a legacy without something that has been documented. So when I'm in my book, or in fact, the reason why I wrote that book is for people to remember my deeds, yeah, my contributions to the society, what good have I done? And when we talk about legacy, usually it is on the positive side. Yeah, on the positive side. So so for the next 40 minutes, yeah, I'll be talking on this. Yeah. Okay, what is legacy? Okay. Legacy is usually created by people who are responsible and want to share their knowledge, their talents, and their wisdom to the younger generation. It is very applicable to every individual, okay, no matter who we are. All of us have something that we could make others remember us for a longer time. Not only remember us, the sharings or the knowledge or the wisdom that we have given, passed on to the others, it can be remembered and they can use our wisdom in their career, in their life to improve further. Okay? So we are fully aware that one day we will all be gone, okay, and leave all our material possessions behind. That is a fact. You like it or not, no matter how much wealth we have, how much assets we have, once we are gone, nothing belongs to us. We are not going to take it along. Okay. The only thing that we will leave behind is our legacy. See, that is why the book that I've written is very interesting. People should, you all should take an opportunity to read this book, and the book can be obtained from my bookstore. In fact, I've got a virtual bookstore, which is, you can see in the backdrop, okay, nahanebookstore.com. You can see all my books, 15 books of mine are in that ebook. Yeah. So this is what we call a legacy. Yeah. Okay. And talking about legacy, okay, legacy covers the gambit of life. It encompasses our whole life. Okay. From small to big, what good we have done, what sharings we have done. It speaks of how people's lives impact on other people's life. Okay. A legacy is much different than a well stated goal or a personal achievement. It is very different. Yeah? Legacy is very different from goals or a personal achievement. It is what we are going to leave behind that counts. Okay. A legacy does not have an I, okay, in the meaning, but instead has other in its residue. Okay. So it is not about I, but it is about the deeds that I have done that will make people remember me. As I said again, that is inevitable. Okay. Knowledge is everlasting. Okay? It is the only thing we can pass down to the younger generation. In other words, we are not going to like we are not going to live ourselves for others, but after we are gone, we are going to pass down our knowledge, our expertise, our wisdoms, our good deeds to our contribution to the society. So people can use our legacy as an advice for them on how to further improve themselves. Okay, so this is the only way a person can leave behind a legacy. Okay, to understand what is a legacy, let us look at some of the following examples here. Assuming, assuming you have been invited, okay, or you have invited your friends for your birthday, your 80th year's birthday, 80th birthday, yeah, you are inviting friends and guests. A lot of them attend your function, and the MC calls upon, okay, the master of ceremony calls upon individuals to give their feedback, yeah, their feedback about this person. Or let's say about me. Let me put in that example. Okay. It's my 80th birthday. I'm inviting a lot of friends. It's a very big function. So the master of ceremony or the MC invites individuals to give some uh, to tell the others their opinion about me. Okay. So what do I expect to hear from these people? I'm sure people will be talking about me, right? So what are the good things? Of course, I want to hear only the good things, right? I want to hear the good deeds that I've done, how I've brought up my family. Okay, what is my success? What is how did I achieve all the achievements in my life, and how did I bring up a family? You know, and ensuring that my children are all grown up now. They are all successful in their life. Okay, and then not forgetting my character and personality. See, when I expect them to say good things about me as an individual, I should not, I should also doing what they're telling. Yeah. I don't expect them to say something good about me, but I personally have done a lot of mischief, a lot of uh, things that I should not be doing, I'll be doing, and I can't expect people to talk those things about me. So for me to make sure people talk good about me, I have to behave accordingly. I have to do things accordingly that will match whatever they have said. Yeah. So all this thing is part of legacy. Okay. So once I hear all these testimonies, I am sure I would feel very great and would want to maintain and improve myself. Okay. So this is just an example. What do I expect people to say about me? Okay. Even after I'm gone. And for me to make sure what they say is correct, I have to walk my talk. Okay. I have to walk my talk. I have to do things that I'm able to help people. I must be able to do things that I've contributed to the society. A lot of them have benefited. If I'm a trainer, all my teaching, or if I'm a teacher, all my teaching, I have made sure my students have all, most of them are successful in their lives. So it's a pride for me. Okay. It is a pride for me it, to leave behind a legacy. Okay. So that explains what is legacy. Now, the second thing in my book, what I've done is after sharing or giving my ideas, the meaning of legacy, what does it mean? So I've also written on why legacy is important. Okay. I've written the book in a very structured manner. It goes from A to Z. It is laid out in a very structured manner so readers will be able to understand, trust the flow of what is legacy, why is it important, what are the imperatives, what are the prerequisites. So you must follow all these things. Only then you will be able to leave behind a legacy. Now coming to why legacy is important. Before you initiate to create a legacy, okay, you need to understand the importance of leaving behind a legacy. It's very important. This will prepare you mentally and work towards it consciously and consistently. Okay, so it is a process. I cannot just simply think, oh, I'm going to leave behind a legacy and tomorrow I'm going to leave behind a legacy. No, legacy is a process. Okay, it cannot be created in a short time, in a short period of time. It takes years. It may even take your whole life, okay, for you to leave behind a legacy. So why is it important? Because people will remember you. If you have a legacy, people will remember you. Firstly, by leaving behind a legacy, people will remember you for the good deeds you have done that have benefited others. Yeah. So number two is why legacy is important is it is a pride that after you are gone, your sharings will be revered. Okay. So this is one of the reasons why I say legacy is very important. Okay. After we are gone, after doing all the good things and we are gone, our sharings, our experiences, our parting of our knowledge, they will all be revered. Okay. A good the good deeds that you do now will enable people to remember you for a very, very long time. Maybe 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, who knows? If your legacy is really good, really benefited many, it will even remain in their minds for a much longer time. Okay? If you're a social worker and if you do it out of your passion, people can see the passionless in us in volunteering to do social service. So this whatever dish that I do will be rewarded, and even after years to come, it will be remembered. Okay. The third one is why legacy is important is because you will be an icon for people to learn how you built your legacy. Yeah. Because for us to have a legacy, it is not easy. It is a long process. You got a lot of challenges, ups and downs. You need to really be committed and passionate to do all the good deeds, to do all the training, even if you're a trainer, to train as many people as you can so that all the participants they have benefited from you. If you're a teacher, you have contributed a lot in teaching, you have improved thousands of lives, for them to be successful. So this you will later become an icon for them. Okay? Just like when people think of telephone, Thomas Edison is the icon because they know Edison is the one who invented telephone. Likewise, when people are looking for crucial conversation, who would they think of? Definitely Gary Peterson and Joseph Grammy because they are the icon in creating, in developing that crucial conversations, and they have trained thousands and thousands, maybe millions of people. So they have become an icon. So even we as an individual, we can also be an icon by proving or by doing deeds that people can really remember us. You know, for example, uh, father of independence in India. I'm sure everybody will know is Mahatma Gandhi, example. Yeah. So we have to become an icon. Okay. Next one, which is number four. Okay. The fourth one is you will be an inspiration to others. That is why legacy is important. Because if you are inspirational to others, you will leave behind a legacy and people will remember you. Okay. A good motivator, a good motivator will be an inspiring figure. Okay. Who can easily influence people. The minute he stands up to talk, people will be focusing. He's a very charismatic, he's a very knowledgeable person. He has got a lot of wisdom. Okay, so we can be an inspiration to others. For example, Dr. Stephen R. Covey, who is a motivational guru, often inspires others with his principle-centered leadership. principle-centered teaching. See, he is an icon and he is very inspirational. So if you are an inspirational person, the legacy which you are going to leave behind is very important. Okay. Next one I can think of is what I've mentioned in my book is legacy can be passed on from generation to generation. How is that so? We are the product of our parents, right? We are the product of our parents that we inherited from. Likewise, the legacy that we leave behind would be inherited by the next generation. So it is a passing on journey. It's an evolution that passes down from generation to generation. Okay. So let us take let us look at the life of a priest. It is customary, yeah, that his forefathers were priests, and the tradition is passed down to the next generation. So it is passed down from generation to generation. Okay. So this is all part and parcel of legacy. So that is why it's very important. Okay. We must always remember, yeah, to live, to love, to learn, and to leave behind a legacy. These four vision, these four vision, if you really follow through to live, okay, to live, to love, to learn, and to leave behind a legacy. If you follow these four vision in your life, it will really help to create a legacy for the next generation. And people will take you as an icon. You will be an inspirational person. Okay. The next one, which I've written down in my book, is about the prerequisites. Prerequisites for creating a legacy. Not, we must understand, not everybody can create a legacy. There is some expectations. There are some guidelines on what you should do. How should you prepare yourself? Okay. Only then, if you follow this process over a long period, it may even take from the time you start working, maybe at the age of 25 or 23, until you retire, 30 years, 40 years, or even 50 years. So it will take this long for you to really create a legacy. As I say, there must be a prerequisite. Not every Tom, Dick, Harry can create a legacy. Okay? As I said, legacy is for people to remember for the good deeds. Of course, even if you are a hardcore bandit, you also leave behind a bad legacy, you know. But we are not talking about that. Here, in the context of today's talk, we are talking something that is good, something that is inspirational, something that people can inculcate, okay, can follow what we have developed, what we have created, and it can be shared to the next generations. Okay, let's look at some of the prerequisites. Yeah. Okay. Understanding the awareness on the importance of legacy is the first step. That means the first step is always to understand. Okay, understand the importance of legacy. You must know what is legacy. You must know what is the importance of legacy. In fact, what I've discussed is a process already actually. Okay, this is the first step. Okay, before you want to create a legacy, it is basically a paradigm that you need to instill in your mind before you can initiate. Without a correct mindset, you will never be able to create a legacy. Okay, So your mindset is very important. The paradigm which you are going to develop after understanding what is legacy, the importance of legacy, you must have that mindfulness and the awareness and the understanding in your mind. Okay, what shall we do from now? Okay, so if you need to be a principle-centered person during the course of your work life, in the course of your family life. You have to be a person who is principle-centered, meaning you should have a clear vision. You are not going to sway from your principle. Okay, you will be focused on your principle, and that principle you have to live it, and whatever you do must be based on that principle. As we all know, life is always governed by principles and values. Okay, a life of a successful person is a principle-centered life. Okay, without having to swing decisions. You cannot be sitting on the fence, you know, and follow the majority. Cannot. You have to be principle-centered. Okay, your principles are like a lighthouse. You know, a lighthouse. It is nobody can bang a lighthouse, right? It is as powerful, as strong as a lighthouse. So your principle must be like that of a lighthouse. Okay. If you go against this principle, you will be heading for a disaster. Okay. So you cannot go against your principle. How your life has turned out so far is the result of a certain set of rules, principles, or beliefs that you have in the past. Okay. So this is what I call a principle-centered person. So every successful person, they must have a principle in life. Okay, and whatever we do must be in accordance to that principle. I cannot be doing one thing today and tomorrow because of the influence of the others. I change a different route. If you start doing that, you will never reach your destination. You will never reach your vision. Okay. Next is you must have a clear life vision. See, for you to create a legacy, the first one I said, you must be principle centered. Okay. If you are a principle centered person, people will trust you. The trustworthiness will increase. Correct? Because your principle, you are not going to sway from that. You are not going to do anything against that. Okay, if you're principle centered, is of integrity, you are a person of integrity. People will know you as a person of integrity, principle centered. Okay, next is you must have a clear life vision. Once you have a principle centered life, your visions need to be set. You must have a very clear vision. It defines the set of experiences and accomplishments. Okay, so your vision this defines your experiences and your accomplishment you aim for in your life. It provides you with a solid framework to evaluate your life goal, to evaluate your progress, to evaluate your achievement. Okay. And these things are very crucial for your self development and long term success. See, the next one is develop yourself first, meaning it is very crucial to develop yourself, to come up in life, to be a better person, you know, to to do the best we can so that we are developing ourselves in all aspects along the way. If you are emotionally stable, okay, if you are emotionally stable within yourself, then you are in a better position to help and inspire others. Okay? As the saying goes, yeah, you can't pour from an empty mug. The mug, the cup must be full before you can empty the cup. Okay, so you must develop yourself. You must up, lift yourself. Let people see your progress. Okay, only when you develop yourself, it will become. I mean, this development of yourself is part and parcel of the prerequisite. Next one is always be a contributor to the community. We must not be selfish of taking care of only ourselves, our family. We must time, we must find time, we must have space in our life to contribute to the community. Yeah? Volunteering your services, volunteering yourself to homeless shelter, or even form a team to go and clean up the litter in the, in at nearby places. You have the get together. When you have the get together, you will also make a lot of friends. And people, if they see you that you are a person who voluntarily accept this kind of responsibilities, it will be in their mind. When they think about social leads, social contribution, first thing they will remember is you. Wow, no, wow, Rajvin, she is a real contributor to the society. So whenever it comes to any contribution for social activities, they remember Rajvin because they know Rajvin has been doing this for many, many, many years. It is not just yesterday. Okay. So people who do charity or social work are often considered people centric. So by focusing on contributions to the community, you will become the people centric. You are not self centric. Okay. You are people centric. Your life doesn't belong only to you. Your life also belongs to the society. Yeah? Because they care for you. They can see what you've done. Okay. Next is another prerequisite that I would say is always be in touch with the hearts of people. You must be able to touch the heart of people, the hearts of people. Okay. Touch people's heart by doing good deeds. When you do good things, people will remember you. You are touching their heart already. By this kind of simple act, this act is very, very simple. You need to be a very, what they call, a serious task or very big task that involve a lot of your time, consume a lot of your energy. No, even simple deed, it will be able to touch people's heart. Okay, you'll be able to touch their hearts. It is not about you that counts. Okay, remember, it is not about you that counts, but it is about what you have done to others that inspire them that counts. Okay, so in other words, it is not about you, but it is the deeds that you have done that inspires others. Okay, that inspires others. That counts. When you do this, you will be able to touch their hearts. Okay, so these are the prerequisites you need in order to create a legacy. See, legacy is not what I did for myself. It is what I am doing for others and also the next generations. So this is a quote, yeah. This is a quote on legacy. Okay. Next, we will see in my book what I've written is there are four ways to create legacy. Just now I talked about prerequisite, right? So now here comes the action plan. Action plan. What shall we do? Okay. We already know what is legacy. You already know the importance of legacy. You already know the prerequisites of legacy. Now we are now going to have an action plan. There are four ways. First one is decide what legacy you want to create. It's very important. Yeah. Decide what legacy you want to create. In order to create a powerful legacy with your life, you need to decide what contribution you want to make to the world, not to yourself or to your family, but to the world. Okay. What message do you want to send, okay, with your life to the world and to those surrounding you, to those what matters most to you? Imagine you are attending your own funeral. Imagine you are attending your own funeral. Yeah. What would you want your family members and friends to talk about you? Then you will know what kind of legacy you want to leave behind. Okay. Next one is treat everyone you meet with kindness. See, kindness is very, very important. A powerful legacy can be created with the simplest action of kindness. Okay? It has proven to change lives in powerful ways. A simple act of kindness can inspire acts of kindness, yeah, by others, which means that every time you touch someone's heart with your kindness, you are already creating a positive energy. You're already creating positive ripples, ripples that will last for a long, long time. So always be kind to people, even if they are angry, even if you're angry with them, do not show the anger. Be polite, cool yourself, and don't react. When you are in emotion, do not respond immediately. Take time, cool down, because when you are not in emotion, you will be able to think better. You will be able to reply in a much polite manner. Okay, so do not let emotion control you. If we let emotions control you, the outcome is at the end of the day, you will become the victim of emotions, which is not good, especially when you want to leave behind a legacy. Yeah, because kindness is one of the ways how you can win people's heart, okay, can touch people's heart, and people will trust you, they will love you, and they will think of what you have done. Okay? Act with selflessness. Do not be selfish. By doing selflessness act, you are actually doing out of your own desire. See, if you're doing any action or any act with selflessness, that means I'm not selfish. I'm not thinking of myself. If you do this, okay, you are actually doing out of your own desire, not just to please others, because that is what you are. Okay, you are a person who does things with selflessness, and people see that in you. That is where people know you are not doing things just to satisfy yourself. Okay, you are not doing things just to please others, but you are doing this out of your own desire, inside out approach. The key here is inside out approach. Okay, people would not say that you have hidden agenda, because when you behave with, when you act with selflessness, people will know that you have no hidden agenda. Okay? But that is what you are, right? This is where passion is the key to whatever you do. Because if you have passion, you will act with selflessness. Okay? It is your own desire, inside out approach, not because you want to please others. Okay? People with passion will do things without any form of expectation. You must remember, yeah? People with passion will do things with no expectations. Okay? Okay. Next one is walk your talk. This is also another way how you can leave behind a legacy. What do you mean by saying walk your talk? Assuming you're a trainer, okay? Assuming you're a trainer, a motivational speaker, not just a trainer, but you're a motivational speaker. You you attend functions, you go to places to give talks, you talk all the good things that you've done. But behind, you are not acting. You are not behaving the way you're talking. In front, you say something, but at the back, you're not doing it. That is why, if you're a motivational speaker, you must be able to live whatever you are saying. That is what I mean. Walk your talk. Okay? When people walk, when people see you walk the talk, they will have respect for you because, and you will be trusted person whom they can rely for improvement. Anything bothering them, okay, they will come to you for advice because they know you are also that kind of person. Yeah. An example, because I'm well accustomed with the 7 habits of highly effective people. In fact, I use this most of the time I talk. You know, I have gone through the 7 habits progress multiple times. I think I was maybe 100 times because I was working with them at one time. 7 habits is a uh, motivational aspect for self-development. The 7 habits. If you live all the 7 habits, it will take long. It may even take 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, doesn't matter. As long every time you do little, sooner or later it will expand. So once you start living the 7 habits, people will look at you differently. Yeah. Because you have been practicing what you have learned in in that program. And you've read the book. You know everything from the first page to the last page. And you're living. Of course, you don't expect to be 100% perfect, right? Nobody can be 100% perfect. It's impossible. If anybody can say, oh, you read this book, it can change you 100%. Let me tell you, it will never work. Okay? As long as you're able to reduce the gap, maybe 60% or even 50% for that matter, you have already achieved something, and you are living what you have learned most of the time. So this is why you say you you have to walk your talk. Okay? We all die, right? We all know all of us will die one day. The goal isn't to live forever. So we are not going to live forever, but to leave behind something that will benefit others. That is a message from my talk from the beginning until now. You must remember our goal is not to live forever, but to leave behind something that others will benefit. That is what I call leaving behind a legacy. Yeah. Uh, okay. So whatever I've mentioned now, if if you truly accept the fact, the processes, understand what is the legacy, the importance of it, the prerequisite, and the action plan. Sooner or later, by the time you become, maybe by the time you retire, or by the time you have worked in that company, in that organization for many years, you will be able to leave behind a legacy. You know, it can be left by anyone, not necessarily only people of certain level. As long you have in mind, as long you know yourself that you have done a lot of things, you want to improve further, and what have you left? What are you going to leave behind for the society? If you can answer these questions, then you'll be in a much better position to really grasp and do something to leave a legacy. And living this legacy is not just orally, by not just doing things. It will be good if you document it, because only when you document it, you will be leaving behind legacy that can be remembered for a much longer time than just by remembering. Yeah, just by. But if you have written down, that is why I say e-book is one of the best way. Even if a retiree, the last goal in the last stage in their life is for them to write a book, no matter how simple it is. Okay. And ebook is not very difficult. In fact, yesterday also I gave a talk about ebook. Very simple, very easy to write. Okay. If you are able to write it, document it, that is the best. Nothing else is greater than having a book, a documented book from you, which people can read for very, very long years, even after we are gone. So that is what all about legacy. Having spoken about legacy, okay, there are also our mindset also must be prepared. Very often, you know, no matter we want to do a lot of good things, but as you know, all of us have got our own challenges, a lot of stress in life. You're not able to focus. So when you are in those kind of situation, there must be some therapy that can help to heal you, so you can be back on track, follow the alignment, okay, align yourself to achieve the desire. So for that, I would request Rajvin. She is an expert in laughter therapy, laughter yoga. So she will explain how we can put ourselves to overcome all the challenges and stress, all the unwanted thing. How can we align ourselves in order to be successful and be happy? You know, happiness is the most important thing in life. If you do not have happiness, you will never, never progress. Okay, so for that, without further ado, I would like to invite Rajvin to do her part on laughter yoga. Okay, Rajvin, the stage is yours.
You have to unmute, Rajvin.
Right. Okay, good.
So thank you, Nahan, for for doing the first part of it. I'm gonna continue where you left off. So for me, before I begin, I would like to start with a quote and an exercise and meditation before I begin my actual talk. So the exercise for um leaving behind a legacy is like this. I promise to laugh even even here, and I promise to leave behind a legacy of laughter, full of laughter and joy here and hereafter, even when I'm gone. And as Miss Beautiful Smile, I believe that you not only live, love, you not only live, love, learn, but you also laugh and leave behind a legacy. That is my thoughts for Miss as Miss Beautiful Smile for Miss Amazing Malaysia and a certified laughter yoga teacher. Now, when we want to leave behind a legacy, we have to appreciate ourselves. So we can do appreciation laughter. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Yay! Very good, very good. Yay! 非常好，非常好. Yay! Yatta, yatta, yay. And before I start my talk, please accept this legacy meditation. Dear God, please ensure that whatever deeds I do it with love, laughter, and legacy. So on your closed eyes, you may rub your palms, and whenever you're ready, you may open your eyes. So I now begin a short talk from where we left off. Thank you, Nahan, for covering your thoughts on legacy. Here are my thoughts. Special thanks to Mavin for inviting us, me and Nahan, every 2 Thursdays to train in this topic with various topics for all of you. Now, our topic is legacy and laughter yoga. So my takeaway on this is legacy is something that you leave behind to the next generation. You then live intentionally, embrace impermanence, and celebrate daily contributions. I celebrate my daily contributions in National Cancer Society and my daily contributions in laughter yoga. You leave behind a legacy through mentorship. You mentor others. How to leave behind a legacy is to mentor others so that they can live a good life. For me, my parents mentored me. My parents, Warren Shanmugam and Menika Devi Raja Manikam and YB Nahan mentored me so that I can leave behind a good legacy. And our legacy is through community. Legacy through community means legacy through community means legacy through podcasts, Rajvin and Warren podcast, Mavin Magic podcast, and also Miss Amazing Miss Amazing Malaysia, where I was awarded Miss Beautiful Smile. Now, why we say leave behind a legacy with laughter yoga? Laughter yoga is a joyful practice combining joyful practice combining laughter with yogic breathing techniques. It was founded by Dr. Madan Kataria and his beautiful wife Madhuri, which I met personally in last week in second Malaysia Laughter Yoga Conference, which was held in Johor, New York Hotel Johor Bahru, which I was there 5 days. I'm still in the blues. Laughter Yoga is a um, fantastic blueprint for me and other practitioners because it reduces stress and builds social connection. The key practices is stimulated laughter. Key practices of laughter yoga is stimulated laughter becomes genuine through group exercise and deep breathing and childlike playfulness. How how to leave behind a legacy through laughter yoga is legacy through laughter with joy shared through laughter becomes emotional inheritance. Laughter is inherited inher, inheritance that laughter becomes something embedded and something that you comes from within you that you want to inherit inherit to the next generation. Why laughter is so important to laughter strengthens relationships by creating ripple effects. So um, practice laughter yoga today to leave behind a good legacy. And before we open for question and answer and commentary from Shabana and Nahan and the audiences, um, James, Sneha, and Dr. Yogadi, I would like to do some breathing exercise. So breathe in positivity, breathe out stress. And before I I open the floor, we open the floor for questions. This is for laughter pledge. I promise to laugh for better or for worse, in sickness or in pain, every day in every way. I do. Ha 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 ha! Yay! Very good, very good. Yay! So we will see you in the next presentation, 21st of August, 2 weeks' time. Thank you. Any questions? We are still here to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Um,
I think Sneha wants to. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you, Rajvin. It is so beautiful. And I never knew that you've been doing so much for the society around. It's so good to hear that. And I really love the pledge you have made us take there. I mean, now I remember that, okay, instead of anything, you have to smile. Thank
uh,
you for that beautiful moment you gave right now. And thank you to Sir also for such a insightful and such simple things that he has talked about to build in a legacy and so true, so connected I felt about it. And with that, I got in connection that maybe what we are doing, we could put in more in the world because of that. Maybe our universe has brought us in this line or in this way or pathway where he wants us to do more and build that legacy, isn't it?
Exactly. What you say is perfect.
But I would really like to understand one thing from you, sir.
Yeah.
Uh, suppose it, you said that always keep in mind, like that when you are angry or when you want to react upon something, that we are building upon a legacy and it should not get disturbed because of any other circumstance. So, shall we always keep that in mind, that a legacy has to be built in and it should not get disturbed, even though if we see something happening in front of our eyes which is not positive, or um as Lord Krishna has said, that you know the person who bears the wrong is more wrong than the person who ignores it. Like I mean, yes, I just take your stand and fight for the wrong that has been happening in front of you, or raise your voice. Is that okay to raise your voice, or not, or to remember that we have to build in a legacy, and we should not change the
Okay.
connections or change the way?
I think you have forwarded a very good question. Yeah. So basically, when I said when you are in anger, okay, when you're anger, do not respond immediately, because when we react at that point of time, we are actually in emotion.
Yeah.
When you are emotion control us, not we.
Yes.
So we become a victim to the emotion. So that because we are of emotion, as human being, we have got this is the way we have been brought up. It is customary that we all get angry. Nobody is perfect. Nobody will be always be smiling. There are times when we cannot control ourselves. It is at that point of time, just pause. Just pause about 2 or 3 seconds. That duration will help you to think differently, as opposed to you immediately respond. It's just like like two children fighting. When A box, B also box. It's counter reaction, right? Because it is done what we call unintentionally at that point of time. Because I'm angry, you box me, I box you back. So they don't have time to think. And when they start boxing each other out of because both of them are emotion, right? So when they start attacking each other, when the emotion, the result is sometimes very disastrous. Sometimes, yeah. However, if one of them choose to stop just about 5 seconds, just pause before acting. I also want to box. I'm very angry. I want to box, but before I box, I just pause. So 5 seconds. And within that 5 seconds, it might change my way of thinking, my reaction. It may. Okay. So this is something it cannot be done immediately. It takes time. You have to build ourselves. It may take some may even take months, because it is a habit. It is a habit. Habit can be unlearned and can be learned. Bad habits can be unlearned. Good habits can be learned. And when you do new things, you have to do it consciously so that it gets into your subconscious mind. If you do not do it consciously, if you just keep attacking, you will be the same as the other person. Yeah, but if you just do it consciously over a period of time, it will fall into your subconscious mind. At that time only it becomes a habit. And that habit is I am a person when people make me angry, I don't get angry. I don't react. I don't react. I just keep quiet. Because that is me. Yeah, I formed a habit. Over a period of time, I formed it as a habit. I don't react at that point of time. I think if I box, what will happen? And if anything happen, am I responsible to take charge? Or am I going to blame the other party? He scolded me, I get angry. Actually, he didn't ask me to get angry. I got angry because
That's
emotion.
my choice.
The choice. The choice. So this kind of thing you have to practice consciously over a period of time. So whatever we learn, the habit, if you do not do it for first 30 days, it will never become part of you.
Yes.
So this is what my take. I hope I've answered your concern.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
But nothing
even
is
in
easy.
emotionally, when we react upon things, we always regret it. We always
Yes.
tend to regret it later. Okay, might be we haven't reacted it in that way.
Yes. Let me tell
Thank you
you
so
one
much.
let me tell you one short true case. In a
Mm,
school, it happened, yeah. In a school, it happened between two children. They were fighting each other. One boy took a pencil and threw on the other boy. You
mm,
know, the pencil is very sharp. It hit the boy's eye and the boy become blind.
right. Mm,
Why? Because he reacted out of emotion
mm,
without thinking.
yeah.
If he had only thought for 5 seconds, he may not have thrown.
Mm,
But after that, if he still insists on throwing, he takes responsibility. He is the cause. Yeah. So this is something that we have to develop over a period of time.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh. Is there
Um,
any others? Mr. Prem, Dr. Yogadi?
Yeah. I think Prem wants to share. Yeah.
Yes, Nahanji,
Yes,
good.
sir.
It's always a pleasure and a joy to listen to you and Rajvin.
Thank you. Thank you.
In my personal experience, I wore a uniform, few uniforms, right? And I was under enormous strain. When the public looks at you, you're very uniform. They will try to provoke you. They want to create some altercation, right? They will say this and that, all kind of words they'll use. And I kept reminding myself, if I give in to what they want, if I give them the permission to get the worst of me, then I am going to have a hard time. So they tried the best. They tried to provoke me this way and that way. I refused to accede. So we went to the police station and they gave their version. I also give my version in written form. So, of course, the matter was investigated at a very high level. They exaggerated, they said I said this and I said that. I maintained my peace. I say, of course I felt this and I felt that. I'm a human being. I felt all this. But I remember that I also carry an authority card. If I give in to those emotions, I'm going to be in the worst position. Even though they feel they are justified, they will look like they are right. Even though I know clearly they were doing it for a political purpose, just to win some brownie points. I refused to barter it. I stood my ground. In the long story short, the investigations finally revealed that I was not in the wrong. Of course, the person complaining about me was a assemblyman, a politician. In Malaysia, we call them Your Excellency. He couldn't get his way with me. So eventually it was like, they advised me, they gave me a letter of advice. You must remember you're a police officer, blah, blah, blah. I say, yes, thank you very much for the advice, but I refuse to accede, to allow them to get the better of me. I was wondering what way my career path would have taken if I had, for that moment, had a lapse of judgment, given in to my baser emotion, forgetting for a moment that I was carrying a duty, a dharma. What if I became personal about it?
Yes.
So that lesson remained with me.
Yeah.
And I always remind myself when people try to say this or that, they try to provoke me. I remember back. And of course, Mr. Nahan, I do count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, I'm cooler, you know. And it helps to take a glass of cold water.
Good, good. From what you have shared, I can assess you in one sentence. You are a man of principle centered, which is very, very good for what you are, because being a principle centered man of within you, you know you are acting out of principle, the truth, and you are not going to sway to people's demand, to the politicians' demand. You are what you are because you are a principle centered person. That is one of the prerequisites when I mentioned earlier about how to create a legacy. So you are already actually following the steps already. No? So now only I'm sure both of us are retired. Yeah. So so this is the right time for us to do some writing, write a book so that our knowledge can be spread to the next generation. Yeah, very good. I thank you very much for your sharing. I think it's wonderful. Yeah, good. So,
Thank
Dr.
yeah,
Yoga,
yeah,
okay, back to you, Dr. Shabana.
yeah. Thank you so much, Nahan and Rajvin, for a wonderful session and inspiring us to write ebook and also leave a legacy. Thank you.
Yeah, in fact, very soon I'll be organizing an ebook with Dr. Shabana.
Yeah,
So those of you who are interested, please keep in touch with her.
yeah,
We can always do. If you want online, I'm coming to India next month.
yes,
I'll be in Bangalore. From Bangalore, I can do an online
yes,
4 hour course, 4 hour course on to write ebook.
yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So it's open. The stage is open. You can discuss with Dr. Shabana.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, Nahan. And
Okay.
thank you, everyone. And see you
Thank you,
again.
Shabana ma'am. Thank you, Prem sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rajvin, everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Hope to see you all in the next session, 21st.